Hey everybody, welcome right back to the channel. Welcome right back to the channel. Man, let me tell y'all something. Friday was amazing, man, for the NBA. It was great stuff. Great games, great competitive games, great clutch moments. It was real fun. Real fun. And then this weekend is going to be great of college basketball. This week was great of college basketball. But before we get into all of that stuff, okay, my name's Isaiah Austin, and welcome back to the IDA Kings video production channel. Okay, if you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos. We did almost 100 episodes, almost 90. Um, and if you want to know when I post and upload new videos, hit that bell notification. Okay, to know when I post and upload new videos. Okay, to get started, man, it was great stuff. It was fun last night, just flat out amazing. The Cavs was competitive with the Hornets. The Hornets made it competitive in that game, but the Hornets ended up losing to the Cavaliers, 118 to 113. They are 5-0. They've won the last 7 games. They're 5-0 with James Harden being on the team. Flat out amazing. James Harden's been great for the team. Really shocking that has been good this quickly. Um, and they look like a real good team, man. They look like they can win a championship for sure. Um, the Pacers ended up getting blown out by the Wizards, 131 to 118. The Grizzlies ended up getting a win against the Jazz, 123 to 114, right? And the Heat destroyed the Hawks. I mean, they manhandled them from start to finish, 128 to 97. Just beat them down, abused them. They did great from on offense and defense. The Heat did fantastic game from them. The Timberwolves, they were in a close game, right? With the Mavericks, they were pulling away. Then the Mavericks fought hard, man. They be in close games, man. The Mavericks, I gotta give a lot of respect. They get into close games. They're in a lot of clutch time games and stuff like that. They're amazing, and they're competitive when it comes to that. That's why they're amazing to me. But they're struggling, and they lost a lot of close games, and this is one of them. The Timberwolves pulled away. Anthony Edwards started taking over in that fourth quarter. Was magical in the fourth quarter as a whole, especially down the stretch. Flat out amazing. Did a great job. The Bucks did a great job. Kevin Porter Jr. Um, and Hollins for the Bucks was amazing. They won 139 to 118. Zion did a great job in that game too. He played well. But that was a great game by the Bucks. I did a lot of good stuff in that game as well. The Thunder ended up playing well defensively. Did a great job defensively, holding the Nets to 86 points. They had 105, and they won the game. The Nuggets ended up blowing out the Trailblazers 157 to 103, dominated. And then another great competitive, fun game. The Battle of LA was so fun, man. LeBron had 11 assists, was moving the ball real well. Luka did a great job moving the ball, getting points. And Reeves was balling, man, getting back into the starting lineup, putting in great work. The team did a good job from all around. Offense was great from the Clippers too. Kawhi Leonard did a great job offensively. Um, Jones has been really good as well, coming back from the injury. Jones Jr. He's been real good too. The Clippers have been really, really competitive. Like I said, for a while, they were 21-9, going into this game, and I was number one. I think that was since maybe December. And they were dealing with injuries earlier on, so December they've been really the best team since December, I believe. But they ended up losing to a real great Lakers team, who's either fifth or fourth right now in the Western Conference. Really good team, really competitive. They get healthy, man. They play with each other with LeBron, Luka, and Reeves. Plus the roster itself, I think they could be really something special. Pretty excited to see how that plays out and stuff like that overall. Um, so I'm pretty excited about that. Saturday's going to be great too on NBA TV. Magic versus Suns. That's going to be a good game. Both teams need to win. Both teams. The Magic trying to get to the 30th win, try to get a better seeding, and the Suns are trying to get into the 6th spot so they don't play in that play-in. That's what they're trying to do. The 76ers are trying to stay as that 6th seed. They play against the Pelicans. They're 30-25. They need to get a win there against the Pelicans. In New Orleans, the Grizzlies are 21-33. They play the Heat. The Heat are trying to stay afloat too. Stay away from that play-in. They're trying to do that. The Pistons play the Bulls. Yeah, the Bulls are trying to creep back up into playoff contention, playing contention. I believe they're outside looking in, if I'm not mistaken. And the Pistons are trying to get the number 1 seed in the entirety of the NBA. The Kings, they play the Spurs. The Spurs are 39-16. They play the Kings 12-45. And then ABC, tonight's going to be a great game. Rockets versus Knicks. I cannot wait to see that game. That's going to be a fun game on ABC. I'm really, really excited to see that game. Okay. It's Sunday. It's going to be a great, too. The Cavs play the Thunder on ABC at 1 p.m. This is going to be a fun game. Hopefully Shea plays. The Cavs are 36-21. They play a Thunder 43-14. They are now not the best team technically in the NBA record-wise. But that's going to be a fun game, I believe. The Nets versus Hawks. That comes on, too. The Raptors and Bucks, they play each other as well. Another game on ABC I think could be good. I don't know if Steph Curry's going to be playing, but it's the Warriors versus Nuggets, 36-21. Nuggets versus the Warriors, who are 29-27. They're going to be in Golden State. Mavs and Pacers play against each other. The Wizards and Hornets also play each other. Another great game that's going to be on NBC/Peacock at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be a fun weekend. The Celtics, who are 36-19, I believe the second or third best team in the East, are playing the Lakers. I can't wait. That's a historic rivalry. That's one of the best rivalries of all time in any sport. The Timberwolves play the 76ers at 7 p.m. That's going to be a fun game as well. Both teams are trying to be better than the 6th seed if they can, but not get into that play-in. Okay? They're not trying to be in that play-in at all, so they're trying to stay afloat and not be in the play-in in their conferences. And the Knicks play the Bulls at 8 p.m. on Sunday as well, going into a back-to-back. The Trailblazers and Suns, they play against each other. That could be a fun game. And then the Magic and Clippers, they finish the night off at 9 p.m. NBA TV. The last game. That's going to be fun right there. I can't wait for it. That's going to be fun. So far, man, there's been great games coming on, great performances. Pretty excited about it, man. Pretty excited about it. Okay. Now, with college basketball, it's been fun, too. Okay. It's been fun, too. I mean, dominance, right? Duke ended up destroying Clemson. That was on Saturday, last Saturday. Magical. They ended up beating Clemson, ended up pulling away in that game. Okay, pulled away in that game. TCU and Oklahoma State was in a great overtime game. Overall, really high scoring for college basketball, of course, in the 90s. Real good, competitive, close game. TCU ended up getting the win against Oklahoma State by 3. California ended up getting the win against Boston College. Okay, Kansas got destroyed against Iowa State. Iowa State manhandled them, put them in bad situations throughout the game. And Michigan also destroyed UCLA, put them in bad situations in the game too. Nebraska destroyed Northwestern. Okay, St. John's, ranked 17, ended up beating Providence by 10 points. Vanderbilt got a big win against Texas A&M. Both great teams in the SEC. Okay, great teams in the SEC. North Carolina on Saturday beat Pitt. Yeah, that was a good game too. Pitt ended up pulling away. There was a lot of great games throughout the Saturday, man. Great stuff happening. Florida ended up pulling away against Kentucky. That was a close game. Florida was getting it into them, and Kentucky was going back and forth with them. Okay, Oregon ended up getting the win against Penn State. Lot of big games in the bubble situation. Georgia lost to Oklahoma. Okay, Houston beat Kansas State. And then BYU was in a close game with Colorado in final overtime. They ended up getting that big win, though BYU ended up getting a big win against Colorado with OT. Louisville to beat Baylor, stuff like that. So it was fun, man. Miami was in a close game with NC State. I saw that game too. That game was fun. It was competitive. I think NC State fouled a 3-point shooter at the end. Miami made all free throws. NC State tried to get a score, and they couldn't get a score. Miami got a good defensive stop down the stretch. After that, bad play by NC State, fouling down the stretch. Purdue ended up blowing out Iowa that Saturday as well. For sure, blew them out that Saturday. It was crazy, all type of stuff. Texas Tech. This is what Tennessee beat LSU. But here's the thing: Texas Tech and Arizona. Arizona lost their first game. Lost their first game. If y'all remember, they lost their first game. Against, I believe they lost their first game against Kansas. It was Kansas. Kansas did a good job beating Arizona. Did a great job. Texas Tech ended up getting them their second loss in a row. Okay, final OT. Texas Tech did a great job. Arizona looked like they were going to pull away against Texas Tech a few times, but Texas Tech kept fighting, kept scrapping. JT Toppin's a real great big man. He averaging double-doubles like it's nothing. He grabs the boards real well. They did a good job, man. defending at a high level, and dominating at a high level. They did a great job. Real fantastic job. UConn was in a close game with Georgetown, still ended up getting that win. Ohio State was in a tough game, close game with Virginia. Virginia still pulled out the win against OSU. Utah State ended up destroying Memphis. Utah State's having a great year, playing well. Some close games like Western Kentucky beating MTSU, Alabama beating South Carolina, Arkansas beating Auburn. That was another good game as well. San Diego State beating Nevada. St. Mary's ended up winning. Gonzaga ended up beating St. Clair. St. Clair's a real good team too. They beat them, as well. Another Sunday was good. Maryland ended up losing to Rutgers, right? Indiana got destroyed against Illinois in that game. You know what I'm saying? They got destroyed in that game. That's what happened on Sunday. St. Hall ended up beating Butler. Butler's been struggling. They be in games and then end up losing. They probably losing games they shouldn't have lost. Monday was crazy too. Duke destroyed Syracuse on Monday. Destroyed Syracuse on Monday. It was crazy how bad they went. And Houston got upsetted. They were number 2. Upsetted by Iowa State, who's been great. Okay. Winning 2 games in a row against great teams, Kansas and Houston. That's a great job by Iowa State. They've been looking great. Fantastic. They had great guard play. Great performances, man. Flat out amazing. Tuesday is where it got a little wild too out there. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, Michigan beat Purdue by 11. That was a closer game. Okay, Villanova beat Xavier. Final overtime craziness. Buffalo ended up losing at Northern Illinois. That was a close game too, though. Real tight game out there. Florida beat South Carolina. NC State destroyed North Carolina. North Carolina State destroyed North Carolina. Okay, destroyed them 82-58. That was where it started. Rhode Island ended up upsetting St. Louis on the road. St. Louis ended up losing on the road to Rhode Island. Great. Another big upset on Tuesday was SMU beating Louisville. Miami of Ohio beat UMass. They're still undefeated as of right now. We'll talk about if they're still undefeated because they played another game later on in the week. Okay. It was some big ones, man. Kent State beating Bowling Green, UCF beating TCU, great ones. Akron beating Western Michigan. The MAC was crazy because Ohio beat Ball State. It was some great games in the MAC. VCU played a real good game against, Georgia Washington, and then Miami beat Virginia Tech by 1. That was a real good game. Michigan State beating UCLA. UCLA has been having some rough games as of late. Ohio State had a big upset win that they needed really bad against Wisconsin. I think they got a quad 1 win. They ended up beating Wisconsin, 86-69. Wisconsin was ranked 24. I think right now they might still be ranked 24 as of now. Nebraska ended up getting upset by Iowa 57-52. I mean, that was a crazy close game. Nebraska ended up losing. Texas ended up beating LSU. And Kentucky lost to Georgia. Lost. Georgia ended up beating them. Okay. And Texas Tech lost to Arizona State after Texas Tech beat Arizona during the weekend. Man, craziness. It was crazy on Tuesday. Tuesday was wild stuff on Tuesday, man. Y'all gotta remember. It was a good college basketball is heating up. They heating up. March Madness coming around the corner. Y'all know what it is. March Madness coming around the corner. Butler ended up beating Georgetown. Okay. And Creighton ended up upsetting UConn on Wednesday. Just flat out amazing stuff that happened Wednesday. Arkansas and Alabama were in a close game, high scoring game, magical game on offense, final 2 overtime, score after score. Arkansas was cutting in there. Alabama had hit shot after shot down the stretch, ended up winning 117-115. Flat out amazing. Okay, that was a fun game. It was a great game. Okay, Davidson, Steph Curry's alma mater, ended up beating Richmond. Okay, Clemson ended up losing to Wake Forest. They lost, I think, 2 games in a row at that point. Texas A&M beat Ole Miss. Tennessee destroyed Oklahoma. Okay, flat out embarrassed Oklahoma. Okay, and then Northwestern ended up beating Maryland. Okay, BYU ended up losing to Arizona. Arizona needed that win bad after losing 2 straight games. They beat BYU. And then Kansas ended up going on the road and beating Oklahoma State. They needed that win bad. Virginia blew out Georgia Tech 94-68. St. John's was in a close battle with Marquette. Okay, almost had an upset win, but someone who did get upset, it was Vanderbilt, who's ranked 19, lost to Missouri, 81-80. St. Mary's almost got upset by St. Seattle U. St. Mary's ended up winning 72-70. Mississippi State beat Auburn 91 85. Illinois destroyed USC. USC needed to at least be closer because they're on the bubble, I believe, too. Boise State, I believe, is on the bubble. Ended up getting destroyed by Utah State. Gonzaga destroyed San Francisco. Colorado State beat UNLV in a close game, okay, as well. That was a real fun Thursday, man. Craziness, okay. It's been crazy those few days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Just flat out amazing games from start to finish, okay. Tuesday and Wednesday, man. Big upsets after big upsets that can adjust and change the way the NCAA tournament is going. Like Thursday, Tulane beat North Texas. That could be something in the NCAA tournament. That could be something crazy as well for Thursday. Now, let me tell you something. Akron beat Ball State. St. Louis and VCU. VCU started out real strong, man. Was up by double figures. Started off strong. St. Louis ended up coming back, beating them by double figures, and then they ended up having a fight after the game. St. Louis versus VCU ended up having a fight. So it was fun, competitive though. That was a competitive game. St. Louis came back after losing in an upset. Um, on the road, came back and got a big win against VCU. That was good stuff. Good resilience from them. Iona beat St. Peter's in overtime, 72-64. Great game right there. That was a fun game. Indiana got destroyed by Purdue. Indiana also, remembers, on that bubble, and Miami of Ohio was still undefeated. Like I said, they still undefeated, 91-77. Flat out amazing. Okay. Flat out amazing. And then we got Saturday and Sunday, man. We up here now. Okay. We hear a lot of great games coming on. A lot of fun games coming on today. Florida versus Ole Miss. St. John's versus Crankington. Crankington, remember, upset at UConn, so you never know. They could come in at St. John's and beat them. So you gotta be careful. They gotta be careful. Get ready to go. Get ready to grind out and pounce. Okay. Clemson playing Florida State. That's gonna be fun. Okay, Kansas is Cincinnati. You gotta be careful. That could be something crazy. ABC is gonna get real wild on ABC at 1 p.m. Okay, Syracuse versus North Carolina. Y'all better be careful. Syracuse and North Carolina. That's going to be something crazy now. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a rivalry right there. You know what I mean? Y'all, it's going to be fun out here. It's going to be fun. Navy's been balling 22-6. They play Army. Okay. That's going to be a fun one. Okay. Nebraska's 22-4. They got to be careful. Penn State has been close to some of these games. Miami versus Virginia. That's going to be fun on ESPN too. Y'all better be ready for that one. Okay. They both almost have similar records. Miami's 21-5. Virginia's 23-3. Virginia back on top, man. Virginia had a little stretch where it was a little rough for them, but now they back on top this year. They've been cooking this year. Flat out amazing. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. Cannot wait for that. That's on ESPN as well. Dayton versus the Quincy. Drew Joyce's son is coaching. Hopefully I said it right. The Quinces. They play Dayton. Can't wait to see how that goes. Okay, that's going to be a fun one right there. Cannot wait to see how that goes. Okay, that's going to be a fun one. Man, there's a lot of games coming on today, on Saturday. You already know. Great games, great matchups, great matchups, great ones. Houston on ABC, just want to see ABC's about to get real legendary. I'm telling you, ABC about to have some legendary views up here because Houston, they play Arizona. Okay, both are remarkable teams. Both could be one seeds in tournaments. Okay, 23-3 Houston faces off 24-2 Arizona. Okay, I can't wait to see that one. That's going to be a fun one. Okay, y'all better be ready to go because it's going to be fun. Arizona has big size and Houston's so good defensively, and they got a great freshman playing there as well. He's going to probably leave to go into the NBA draft. They have but this whole freshman class is amazing. So many freshman players who are going to be playing at a high level in the NBA. Georgia, they play Texas on the SEC network. Can't wait to see that game as well. Missouri versus Arkansas. That's going to be another big one, too. The SEC about to have big games coming up down the stretch, man. It's going to be fantastic. You see it. USC is on the bubble. They cannot lose to Oregon. That's a big one. They cannot lose to Oregon. They on that bubble. Okay, Winthrop versus High Point. High Point is 25-4, cooking, and Winthrop is cooking too a little bit. Not as much as High Point right now, but they're cooking though overall. 20-8. I can't wait to see that one. That one's gonna be good. I might have to check that one in there. Okay. SMU is 18-8. They gotta get Boston College beat them. SMU, they gotta stay in position. I think they're in the tournament so far, if I'm not mistaken, but they gotta stay in position to be in that tournament. There's a lot of teams on the bubble. Charleston plays Monmouth. Okay. today as well. Charleston's 18-10. Monmouth is 14-13. Monmouth can do some upset crazy things. Okay, we've heard of those stories before. If y'all haven't heard them, man, I'm telling y'all, research Monmouth. They're real good. Troy versus South Alabama. South Alabama is 19-9. Troy is 18-10. That could be a good one too. That could be good for, who makes the tournament, stuff like that. Liberty is 23-3. Western Kentucky's 15-11. They play against each other today as well. That's going to be a fun game too. Liberty's been great, 23-3. Flat out amazing. Most likely will make the tournament. West Virginia and TCU, they play each other as well. Okay. They play each other. That's going to be a heck of a game. Louisiana Tech and Kennesaw State, 15-11. Can't wait to see UConn versus Villanova. Villanova's been cooking this year, 21-5, playing well this year. They play UConn at home. Villanova. Villanova is at home against UConn. Cannot wait to see how that goes. Alabama plays LSU. LSU's had some competitive games, some wins. They're going to be playing this week against Alabama, who's ranked 25 in the country. Okay, that's going to be a fun game. Wichita State and Temple play against each other. Wichita State is 17-10, while Temple is 15-11. Okay, San Diego State and Colorado State play against each other. Colorado State 16-10. San Diego State is 18-7. Coach Fisher used to be there, obviously. Great coach, Fab Five, but yeah, San Diego State's been great even after him. So good stuff. Seton Hall plays Georgetown. Stanford plays California. St. Thomas, Minnesota, who's 21-7, they play Denver. Okay. That could be a fun one. CF Austin is 24-3. They've been cooking, man. They've been balling. They play against Nicholas. They're most likely going to be in the tournament as well. Michigan and Duke, I cannot wait. ESPN, that's going to be a magical game at 6:30 p.m. A lot of magical games coming on. Michigan only has one loss, 25-1. I think they lost, if I'm not mistaken, to Wisconsin. I think it was Wisconsin. Wisconsin hit the three ball like it was easy. They was baking threes, making threes left and right. And Duke, they had two losses. The first one, it was a while ago, but I know they lost to North Carolina in Champaign. Cooking out there in Champaign. Flat out amazing right there. And so that's going to be a fun game. We're going to see a lot of great players. Going to see Cameron Boozer, who's going to play. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see him play again. He's a beast. I think he's player of the year. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be in the top three, right? He's going to be in the top three in the draft. This draft's going to be loaded. UCLA is on the bubble. They need a win against Illinois. If they can get a win against Illinois, they're going to be in some good, solid spot. Belmont, 24-4. They've been cooking. 24-4. They've been cooking as well. Some of these teams who are smaller have been showing that they can win with the big dogs. And I can't wait till the tournament starts because I want to see how they play in the tournament. They play Indiana State, who's 10-18. New Mexico is 20-6. They play Fresno State. Can't wait to see that too. Grand Canyon versus Wyoming. Grand Canyon 17-9. Wyoming's 14-12. Can't wait to see some of these games. Oklahoma's been competitive in these games. Got a few wins. They're 13-3. They play Texas A&M, who's 18-8. Kentucky is 17-9 versus Auburn, going against Auburn, who's 14-12. Okay, Gonzaga's 26-2. They play Pacific 17. They're 17-12. UCF is 18-7. They're having a real good year. Has two good upsets, I think, against Kansas, and I guess another great team too. They have two court stormings. Greatness, man. They play Utah 10-16. Who's 10-16, man? So I'm, Utah State's 23-3, flat out amazing. Playing against Nevada, who's 17-9. That's on 10 p.m. So that's gonna be a fun one. Santa Clara's been really good. They're 22-6. Okay. And they play against San Francisco, who's 15-14. St. Mary's has been great too. They're 24-4. They were in a competitive game with Gonzaga a little while ago in Gonzaga. They play Washington State 12-16. Seattle U and Portland play against each other. Hawaii and Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara 17-10. Hawaii's 18-7. They've been doing some good stuff. They play against each other. UC San Diego versus UC Irvine. They both are 18-9. And then at 10:30 p.m., this is going to be a fun one. Again, we cannot wait to see the Debonsa. I believe that's his name. He's a beast. He is a top 2 pick in the draft. He's a flat-out amazing player. Okay? Same thing with Peterson. He's a flat-out amazing player for Kansas. He's dealing with injuries, but he is a great player. I see why he's number one in most people's sports. Iowa State is 23-3. while BYU is 19-7. Cannot wait to see that. That's going to be fun. Overall, I am excited. The NBA and college basketball has been flat out amazing, and it's been legendary and it's been special. Please, man, keep watching. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm about to be watching more. I've been trying to catch more games, man, because it's been hard working and stuff. But I'm gonna be watching more, man. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna you feel me. I'm gonna get it done. You understand what I'm saying? These games been fun. The ones I've been watching. I can't wait to watch even more games. Okay, if y'all like the channel, please hit the subscribe button for me, because this is going to be a good channel. I really believe that. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos. Okay, like the videos, watch them videos, share the videos. Okay, and then if you also want to know when I post and upload new video, hit that bell notification. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do a lot of different things on the channel. Okay, getting stuff together. We're gonna do a lot of good things. So appreciate y'all, man. Be safe this weekend. Peace.